Always enjoy chatting with this gentleman because I'm a fan of his work. I'm a fan of what he's made himself into. And I also enjoy Zooming with him because that means every single time I see what his new, beautiful gaming chair setup is. And there it is. There it is. Look at you, Austin Ekeler. This looks like you're like, where are you right now, man? Like
I'm in the studio right now. This is the lab.
Look
the drum set. I got the guitars in the corner here.
Wow.
So this is where it all goes down in the off season when I'm not on the field.
Okay, and are you still California based, or have you moved complete shop east at this point?
I have definitely moved complete shop for season, so I'm all set up there in the DMV area. I'm getting the lingo down. Look at that.
You are. Look at you. Look at you getting this down pat about the Mid-Atlantic. Okay, I see you.
No doubt. And so I'm looking forward. I'm not out there right now, but I'll be out there obviously soon enough, and we'll be getting to work and stacking up some days to get this thing in the right track.
All right, let's walk me through the process how you wound up in Washington that you're willing to share.
Yeah, so we're going into the off season, and there was that clip that was going around of me talking about the Chargers wanting to hand the ball off to a running back 300 times a year. And it was true. It was true. And if you look at my stats, if you go back, I have never had the ball handed off to me 300 times a year. And so, hey, that's just not the type of player that I am that they're looking for in their scheme. And so it's like, all right, let's go find a new partner. Let's go find a new dance partner. It doesn't mean that I don't want the ball. It just means I know I'm going to be, one of those backs that's going to catch it and run the ball. And then when I've had the most success, it's been usually when we have some type of tandem where we have someone else that can relieve me. And I know I appreciate that because my body feels a lot better after games. It helps me get through the entire season. And so guess who was my running back or my head coach, right? When I first got my start, started finding success, Anthony Lynn. Right. And so I'm sure he was plugging some feelers out for Austin Ekeler in this kind of tandem backfield with Brian Robinson over with Washington. And you got Dan Quinn come in. So a lot of new factors coming in. They wanted to have some new leadership coming in. So they're bringing in some of these older guys. I've been a captain on the Chargers for the last few years as well. And it seemed like a match made in heaven for going back to some of my roots, but also building a new culture out in Washington.
Okay, so let me just start from the beginning of that story, which is, again, the current state of the Los Angeles Chargers. So you got the sense, or they legitimately said to you, we need backs here who are going to carry it 300 times? Did they say that?
That's what they were looking for. Yeah. They basically, they're just telling me they're going to want to go in a new direction, which is no hard feelings. I get the league. Hey, we have a philosophy. We're going to try to do this, and you might not be the right mold. No hard feelings. It was a great run. I appreciate y'all, but hey, let's go find new dance partners.
Okay, so that's what I'm just saying is that you just got the sense that just knowing what Jim did in San Francisco and then Michigan, or they legitimately explained to you, this is the type of running back we're looking for. This is the type of freight that they're willing to
All I got was the 300 carry mark. That was all they had to say, and the rest was kind of implied.
And then Anthony Lynn, you think was pounding the table for you internally in Washington. That's your sense of it.
Okay. I do. And just even being there, I know it's been great catching up with him. He knows how I work. He knows my philosophies, and I'm very appreciative of him because he's one of the reasons that I even got my start. And even the reason I'm talking to you here is because he utilized me after I made it through special teams. Anyway, he utilized me on the offensive side of the ball in the ways that fit my strengths. And I know he's looking to do the same thing over here, especially with Cliff Kingsbury as well.
And you also know what it's like to see a heralded former Pac-12 quarterback get drafted very highly in the draft and walk into the National Football League with tons of expectations. And it does appear that Jayden Daniels' first start will not be under the same circumstances as when Justin Herbert with Anthony Lynn got his first start. Let's hope. That said, my long windup of asking you how he looks to you so far.
Yeah, he's been looking really good, man. Just making throws. I mean, he's going through it, like learning the plays, right? Making some of the rookie mistakes you'd expect. But it's kind of part of the process of becoming a pro, no matter what position you play. But what you really want to see from your quarterback is what I've seen from my veteran quarterbacks that have done well. You're there extremely early. You're committed. You're talking to the guys about routes. You're talking to them about protections. You're a part of the leadership of the group, but that means having conversations. I remember I ran a route, and right after the route we were done, and he called me over. Hey, Eck, tell me about why'd you sit? How come you didn't break in on that? And it's like it seems really small, but those things add up to him becoming a complete player, understanding, the philosophies of his players, why they're doing what they're doing, and he can tell them, hey, well, I think you should be here. And so it's baby steps, but those baby steps add up to you becoming a great player. And then as far as him out there making throws, I mean, he's made some spectacular throws already. And so that's what we expected to see from him, what we saw from college. And then obviously he's very mobile too, which, as we know in this league, is where most of the big plays come from, is out on the run. How can you create when things aren't going right? And those are the teams that are, you see, those are quarterbacks that you see take their teams into those playoff runs. So he's bringing it all.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're willing to share, should we expect him to be a significant part of the running game? Do you think, Austin?
Ooh. I think off schedule, yes, okay. Absolutely. And we'll see. I think we've seen it from Lamar over with the Ravens, right, where you do have some of that option reads. Mm-hmm. Like if you got a quarterback that's dynamic and knows how to protect himself, that's the only thing that we got to get in this guy's head is like, hey man, like don't be taking these stinking hits, man. Like you got 17 games post playoffs that we got to go through. And so I think that's probably going to be a determining factor is Jayden able to protect himself when he runs, like we can see Lamar doing, and some of these other quarterbacks. Every quarterback's different. Like you see, Josh Allen, he's trying to truck people, but he's got that type of body type. Jalen's a little more slim, and so it's like, hey, let's protect you, figure out how you can be the most effective just on the field, whether it's running the ball or throwing the ball, and we'll adjust off of that.
Yeah, and so you, Brian Robinson Jr., Chris Rodriguez also had some good run, literally, figuratively, for Washington towards the end of the season last year. Just to name some of your colleagues in that room, what's the general sense that you have about splitting carries? Like, how's that going to look, do you think, Austin?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's the same thing every single year. You have to go out there and you have to earn your reps. You have to earn your potential. You have to earn your right to be on the field. Mm-hmm. And we do that through OTAs, training camp. And then it's not only in the backfield, because I've been all over the field already. I'm out wide. I'm in the slot. I'm motioning out of the backfield. It's two of us in the backfield. I'm all over the place. And so I've been putting in work. I have a reputation. I have film out there where it shows like, yeah, Austin can have success when you're throwing him the ball, shallows, crossers. I got some double moves in me. And so, hey, where are you earning it at? Because like I said, Coach Lynn's going to put us in the best position for us. And that's one of the great things that I think Coach Lynn does is, hey, what types of runs, what types of positions can I put my running backs in on the field to have success? And a lot of times, there might be two of us out there because that might be the best matchup for the upcoming game. And so we're splitting out. I'm motioning all over the place. So look, you earn it. You put on the field that you're going to be productive with the ball in your hands. Cliff's going to get you on the field. There's no doubt about that.
All right, screw it. I'll just ask the direct question I wanted to ask because this is where am I drafting you in fantasy? You know what I mean? Austin,
I love this question because in the NFL and even in fantasy, especially in fantasy, you are judged based off of what you did for me lately. Yeah. What did you do for me last season? Right. And obviously last season, there's high expectations for myself and it came out high ankle sprain, right? And I'm struggling trying to get back and never really got back to what as Austin Ekeler type football. Mm-hmm. But guess what? It's a whole new season, whole new opportunity. Your boy is fresh. Your boy is back. Like I said, I've already been all over the field here. And so I know my draft stock is down, but that's great because now I'm going to be able to pick myself up in the first round, right, for myself. Look, I would expect you guys to as well. Yep. But I got no hard feelings if you're like, well, Austin, last year you weren't doing what you were supposed to, and this happened and that happened. Yeah, guess what? Stuff happens. But guess what? When Austin has been healthy on the field, you liked what you saw, and guess what? Your boy's back healthy and ready to do it again.
That's what I wanted to hear. I should just ask the direct questions instead of being cute. And I know you're fresh.
Get to it, man. Let's get to it.
Because I saw that photograph that my colleagues put up earlier. Put it up one more time, Hoskins, of you, Austin Ekeler, getting the ball handed off. Look how rocked up you are. Now, let me ask this question. What is happening there? Look at you with your two hands on that thing. But do you do that on purpose? Because you're flexing? Do you do that too because you're flexing? You know that? Is that why?
That's called fundamentals right there, right? Okay. Two hands on the ball, wrist above elbow, right? Protect that thing. There's a whole organization. There's a whole fantasy community. My livelihood in the NFL depends on me holding on to that ball. And so those are where you see, the rocked up arms hanging on to that thing.
Yeah, because you're wearing something cut off. And if you just hold fundamentally carry the ball, you also know that you are showing it off. I like it, Austin.
No doubt.
You are next level. What is this app Eksperience? What's going on with your new fangled app that you've got going on here?
Yeah, so I've been an entrepreneur at heart, and being in athletics for so long, I've kind of seen some deficiencies, and one of those is access to players. So I was like, let me create a fan engagement tool that is actually efficient enough where athletes will actually go and do these things. It's as simple as kind of a text message kind of thing, and respond with a video or a message type engagement tool for fans. So now if you want to interact with some of your favorite players, like myself, and that's just one-on-one. If you want to, subscribe to the team newsletter where we send messages or stories from the month, or if my favorite one is called Fan Mail, where if you want to send in a jersey, if you want to send in a picture, if you want to send in a player card, we can facilitate it and get it signed for you. Then now you can do that through my app Eksperience. And so taking fan engagement to a whole new level, and we're about to bring it to one of the biggest platforms here, and I'm excited to do that this season and get some of this fan engagement. Because look, I have a lot of fans that obviously are from the Chargers, will be from Washington, but I have a lot of fantasy fans out there that might want to root me on, that might just want to introduce themselves to me, say what's up, that might want to just congratulate me after a good game or pick up my spirits after a bad one, or just see what's going on with the team with the newsletter. So that's what Eksperience is. It's an opportunity for you to go and interact with people like myself and the rest of the league, and then also we'll be out in the college space as well. So it's an opportunity for us to come closer together as a community.
Yeah, and it's spelled Eksperience, Eksperience. And is that on? Just go to app stores and just and
App
hit
Store and
cool.
Android as well. So we're on both right now, and just know we're in the early phases of our launch. So I think we have a good amount of people on there. We're like 30 guys on there. You can go check it out if you want to interact with anyone right now. We're always building new features, and I'm excited to bring it to us this season. You'll definitely see a bunch of ads. I got some skits planned. It's gonna be a great time.
Okay, this chair that I'm sitting in, Austin, it's old. Like there's like a hole in the back here. I'm looking for a new chair. That looks like a throne that you have there. Like why does it look? Why is this such a gaming friendly chair? What is it? What is it about
this chair? I have two of these chairs actually, because I had to get my wife one. I was like, this chair is the best chair. Like, you have that chair. I used to have like a little dingy chair like you. It's kind of flimsy, you can lean back and all that stuff. I was like, this is just not it.
Right.
And so this is no plug, but Razor Blade has this massive chair. It's not cheap. It's actually $500. But this thing is a throne, and it is sturdy, and it is rock solid, and it keeps my back support because I sit here a long time, and I would highly recommend.
Okay.
So shout out to Razor Blade.
So your back doesn't go out how long are you sitting in that chair, man? How long does it?
However long I got to. There might be days where it's 5-6 hours. I'll stand up a little bit, sit down. It might be, but the thing is, like, hey, it might be a couple hours. But regardless, this chair never gets uncomfy. So
okay. All right, that's going to go east at some point. Or you've got a DMV East Coast chair. You got that thing.
Yeah. So right now I had to get a temporary one out there because it was on the fly.
We can't have that. We got to get you fresh. We got to keep you fresh, Austin. We got to keep you fresh.
No doubt.
So for those who might be overlooking the Commanders because of the way they finished last year, you weren't there. But that said, some of the guys who were there are dynamite offensive players, to say the least. Terry McLaurin to Jahan Dotson has got a huge upside. Brian Robinson Jr. Now you've got this kid, Jayden Daniels, there. How good can you be, Austin? How good can you be?
Yeah, there's no telling. There's no telling as far as, hey, we're going to win this many games or go this far in the playoffs. Because in my perspective, like, that's never the goal. The goal is, hey, let's try to become the best team that we possibly can, because a consequence of that will be winning games. And so what that means is, what is our culture? And we got Dan Quinn that has come in and has been talking about brotherhood till he's blue in the face, brotherhood, culture, standard. And not only that, not only talking about it, but showing clips. This is what it looks like. This is BS. We can't have this. And he's calling guys out, and he's saying, this is good, this is bad. And then guess what? That's also resonated with me, because now I'm holding the standard. Now I'm the one saying, hey, you call me out, and I'm going to call you out. And that's what's been happening. And so we're creating this culture of a team where we compete within each other, but we know what the expectation of us is. And when you have that type of energy and you're building that type of team during the offseason, it's the stepping stones to having a great team, which is, again, what creates the wins, so I can't tell you right now because we're still in that building phase. We're going to go through training camp here, and we're going to continue to obviously get more into football mode. But it's still going to be talking about the culture. I think the Lions have been a great example of that. over there with the culture that they've built. And, there was some publicity on that one. So that one sticks out a little bit more. But it's the same thing that's going on over here with DQ and what he's trying to implement with us in the Commanders. And then it comes down to the players and really the whole building buying into it. And then for us, like I said, like you said, actually, I wasn't here last year.
Right.
And so I don't really give a damn about what the heck happened last year, because it's about now. And like I said, even with fantasy, it's about what'd you do for me lately? Well, guess what? It's a new chance for us to do something for you here in the short term.
So is he showing film from last year, or you're just talking about practices?
Just right now. Right now.
Okay.
Last year's long gone.
He's gone.
Talk about the guys we have in the building right now.
Right. Okay. Have you met Magic yet?
I have not met Magic yet. I have not.
That's got to happen, right? Austin, I mean, that's got to happen, right? That's got to happen. Absolutely. You got to get him to sign something for your office back there. You got to get that done.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. I'm just looking out for you. Thanks, Austin. Appreciate the time. Always great catching up with you. Look for my calls during the season for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll jump back on, man. I love what you got going on, so keep it up.
Thanks, Austin Ekeler. Right back at you. Eksperience is his new app. Everybody should go to an app store and check it out, certainly for fan engagement with one of the most engaging guys out there in the National Football League, at Austin Ekeler, on both Twitter and Instagram, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. That's the man from the Washington Commanders. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.